Title: Innocence Unbound. The daycare center stood innocently on the corner of Elm Street, its cheerful facade belying the shadows that lurked within. I had taken up a part-time job as a caretaker for the children, thinking it would be an easy way to make some extra money. Little did I know that the innocuous place held a dark secret waiting to unfold like a malevolent flower. My days started like any other. The children, their laughter echoing through the halls, seemed oblivious to the sinister energies that permeated the very walls of the building. It was only during the late afternoon, when the sun dipped low on the horizon, casting elongated shadows across the playroom, that I began to sense something was amiss. One day, as I was tidying up the art corner, I discovered an old, leather-bound book wedged between two dusty shelves. The pages were yellowed and brittle with strange symbols and diagrams that I couldn't decipher. The title, written in a spidery script, read, "The Grimoire of the Forgotten Coven." Intrigued and slightly disturbed, I leafed through the pages, uncovering incantations and rituals that sent shivers down my spine. The book detailed an ancient witches' coven that had once inhabited the very land the daycare center now stood upon. According to the lore, the coven's powers were sealed away centuries ago, but the book hinted at a dark resurrection. As I delved deeper into the forbidden knowledge, strange occurrences began to unfold. Toys moved on their own accord, and eerie whispers lingered in the air. I became convinced that the daycare center harbored the lingering spirits of the long-forgotten coven. The children, blissfully ignorant, continued their play while an invisible force gathered strength in the unseen corners of the room. One night, unable to shake the feeling of impending doom, I decided to investigate further. Armed with the grimoire, a flashlight, and trembling courage, I ventured into the depths of the daycare center. The air grew thick with an otherworldly energy as I navigated the dimly lit corridors, guided only by the faint glow of the flashlight. I stumbled upon a hidden door in the basement, a door that had been concealed behind a deceptive layer of wallpaper. The grimoire whispered of a ritual chamber, a place where the coven had once harnessed the power of the occult. With trepidation, I pushed the door ajar, revealing a room bathed in an eerie, flickering candlelight. In the center of the chamber lay a pentagram, drawn meticulously in black salt, surrounded by ancient symbols and runes. A chill ran down my spine as I realized the daycare center was built upon the very grounds where the coven had conducted their dark rites. The spirits of the witches, restless and resentful, sought to break free from their ethereal chains. As I explored further, I discovered a faded mural on the chamber's wall depicting the coven in the midst of a ritual. The figures in the mural seemed to come alive, their eyes following my every move. In the center stood a spectral figure, a witch with an ethereal beauty that sent shivers through my soul. The grimoire revealed her name, Ilara, the high priestess of the Forgotten Coven. Compelled by a force beyond my understanding, I uttered the incantations written in the book, unintentionally invoking the spirits that lay dormant. The room quivered with unseen energies as shadows danced along the walls. The temperature dropped and the air became charged with a palpable malevolence. Suddenly, the mural came to life, and Ilara stepped forth from the painted world into the dimly lit chamber. Her eyes, hollow and ancient, fixed upon me with an inscrutable gaze. I felt the weight of centuries bearing down on me as she spoke, her voice a haunting melody. "You have awakened us, unwitting vessel. The time of reckoning is at hand." Terrified, I attempted to backtrack, but an invisible force held me in place. The daycare center transformed into a nightmare realm, the walls dripping with ethereal ichor as the spirits of the coven materialized around me. Ilara explained that the ritual required a conduit, a living being, to fully unleash their powers upon the world. The unsuspecting children above ground were the key to the coven's resurrection. As the realization struck me like a thunderbolt, Ilara approached, her spectral hand outstretched. "You shall serve as the vessel through which our power will be channeled. Embrace your fate, mortal, for you are bound to us." Desperation gripped me as I fought against the supernatural forces that ensnared me. The daycare center seemed to pulsate with an unholy energy as the ritual intensified. The very walls groaned in protest, and the air became thick with the scent of arcane magic. As the children continued their blissful play above, unaware of the impending doom, I struggled against the spectral chains that bound me. Alara's ethereal laughter echoed through the chamber, mingling with the anguished cries of the trapped spirits. In a final act of desperation, I summoned the courage to recite a counter-incantation from the Grimoire. The words, unfamiliar and ancient, resonated in the chamber, disrupting the ritual. The spirits writhed in agony as the supernatural bonds that held them began to fray. With a blinding flash of light, the daycare center returned to its mundane appearance. The pentagram, the mural, and Alara all faded away, leaving only the remnants of an otherworldly presence lingering in the air. I found myself on the basement floor, the grimoire clutched tightly in my hands. The weight of what I had witnessed settled upon me, and I staggered to my feet, my mind reeling from the encounter with the supernatural. Days passed, and the daycare center resumed its facade of normalcy. The children continued their play, and the shadows that once danced malevolently in the corners of the room seemed to have retreated. I kept the grimoire hidden, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked beneath the surface. As I left the daycare center for the last time, the memories of that fateful night haunted my every step. The innocence of the children masked the malevolence that had briefly taken hold. The daycare center stood as a silent witness to the forgotten coven, a place where the boundary between the living and the dead blurred, and where the echoes of dark rituals lingered in the shadows, waiting for another unwitting soul to stumble upon their secrets.